So, just finishing up the 96-hour shift this morning, and wanted to get in a climb for Lieutenant Charles Margiotta from Battalion 22 there in Staten Island. He was actually Battalion 22, but he worked a lot at Tower Ladder 85, which is housed with Engine 165 there at Staten Island's White Lightning. So this 110 is to carry him with honor and respect all the way to the top. For his wife left behind, Norma, his daughter Norma Jean, and his son Charles Vito II. Your husband and father will never be forgotten. So, for Charles, who I found was a very, very interesting story. He worked for GM before he joined FDNY, and then he worked 15 years in Harlem at Tower Ladder 40, and then moved over to Staten Island, where he worked off and on at Tower Ladder 85. Like I said, White Lightning. And thank you, Tommy. So he worked over in Staten Island, and on 9/11, he was coming off shift, heard what happened, turned it around, met up with Rescue Company 5, Blue Thunder, jumped on with the Rescue 5 around the Verrazano, was what I was saying, and went and responded as part of Rescue 5's crew at that point. Again, he was on Battalion 22, and he also was an interim off and on there at Tower Ladder 85, housed with Engine 165, Staten Island's White Lightning. Our brother was a husband, a father, and a soccer coach, a softball coach, heavily involved with his children. He was an avid hunter, loved the outdoors, but I found it pretty interesting that he was also a Hollywood stuntman, a member of the Screen Actors Guild, who actually had small roles in two of the movies that were featured were Frequency and Hannibal. One of the guys that knew him said he usually got the role where the guy got shot. 20-year career on the FDNY. Lieutenant Margiotta, as I said, left behind his wife Norma, his daughter Norma Jean, and his son Charles Vito II. We will never forget the sacrifice made so that others would live. It was said that he actually tried calling Norma when he was on Rescue 5, but he was unable to get a hold of her because she was at work. So he called his mom instead, because he wanted everyone to know that, hey, he's on Rescue 5 right now, because he wasn't rostered on duty. So he ended up calling in, and as I said before, then went as part of the greatest rescue effort in United States history, on the back of the worst terrorist attack on U.S. soil on 9/11/2001. Upwards of 25,000 were saved because of the bravery and heroism that was shown. by the 343 and following in the recovery effort, again still counting. Those who work the pile to bring resolve to our country in the recovery effort for hours, days, weeks, months, until it was resolved as best as it could be. This 110 is taking another brother to reach that top. And right now it's for Lieutenant Margiotta, Staten Island Battalion 22. But like I said, it was also on the FDNY poster. He's listed at Tower Ladder 85. White Lightning housed there at Staten Island with Engine 165. He went to Brown University and actually had a dual major in English and sociology. We cannot forget the legacy and the history that our brother leaves behind. Our brother was not only our brother, but a son, a husband, a father, a family member. This goes out to the Margiotta family, to his wife Norma, and children Norma Jean and Charles Vito II. A promise is made, a commitment is kept, he will never be forgotten. It's dedicated to the FDNY, specifically Staten Island, White Lightning, Tower Ladder 85, and Engine 165. This is for his family, for the FDNY, and an electronic record of a legacy left behind through the 343 commitment and still counting. 110 floors. Right here for Lieutenant Charles Margiotta. As I said before, our brother was a person who picked the underdog, it said. It said if he had a chance to pick someone for his team, he would actually pick the one that nobody else wanted, to make him feel included. It said he would actually go out and shovel snow off the driveways just because of the person he was. Go get his normal cup of coffee at a convenience store and shovel out the snow. While he was doing so, we will never forget our brother and the sacrifice made so that others could live. 343 of the original. We cannot forget ever the sacrifices made, the families left behind, and our resolve to never let it happen again. This is the 197th climb, working towards this weekend coming up's trip to New York, where I'll make the 200th climb there in New York. For Lieutenant Charles Margiotta, this one's yours, brother. Carrying him up. So right now is completion of a 4-day tour And this is now the 5th climb in that 4 days. Pushing him up until we reach the top. Another vertical should put us over the halfway point. Because right now we're sitting at 40 floors in 10 minutes. And we're going all the way to the top. For Lieutenant Charles Margiotta, tower ladder 85, housed at Division 165, Staten Island's White Lightning, and his position on Battalion 22. We will never forget. We will always remember the sacrifices that were made so that others could live. Like I said, he was heavily involved with his children. He was a hunter, loved the outdoors. It said he wouldn't be happy unless he was doing 4 things at one time. So right now, this 110 is to carry your brother to the top. Lieutenant Charles Margiotta, for his wife Norma, his daughter Norma Jean, and his son Charles Vito II. We're carrying him up. We're going vertical with honor and respect given. As I said before, our brother was actually a member of the Screen Actors Guild, which they said he had about a dozen film appearances as a Hollywood stuntman. 2 most notable ones was Hannibal and Frequency, where it was said he was a guy who usually got shot and did a stunt with that. This 110 is for a 20-year legacy of the citizens of New York. 20 years of service, 15 in Harlem at Tower Ladder 40, and the last 5 in Staten Island. We will never forget the sacrifice that was made so that others could live. It's a promise, it's a commitment. Upwards of 25,000 were saved because of the heroism and bravery that was shown by the 343 and following the ants still counting. The initial 343 are going up right now. Once that's complete, the ants still counting will take their turn and keep going vertical as long as I can climb. This 110 is going to Staten Island right now. It's a White Lightning, tower ladder 85, engine 165, and his work at Battalion 22. We're going vertical as you speak. For a brother who was a father, a husband, a coach, a mentor, the one who looked out for the underdog. As I said before, if you were the guy who nobody wanted to pick, you were his first pick. Graduated Brown University with a dual in English and sociology. Had 8 citations awarded to him during his 20-year career. 8 citations, most likely for bravery and life-saving. So we're officially over the halfway point in this 110 floors for Lieutenant Charles Margiotta. There you go. Where are you at? There you go. It's right there. Carrying him to the 110th floor as part of his 343 commitment, and still counting. 110 floors to the top, symbolically carrying him to the top of the towers. Not stopping until we get to the top. This is the 5th climb in a 96-hour tour. Had to work a shift trade because I went to New Orleans, so I'm paying it back, finishing out and taking another brother to the top. One closer to New York City. So this is for Lieutenant Charles Margiotta, dedicated to his wife Norma, his daughter Norma Jean, and his son Charles Vito II. He was actually off shift on 9/11. Heard what happened. Turned around, found Rescue 5, and jumped on with Rescue 5, riding to the towers. To be part of the greatest rescue effort in U.S. history, with upwards of 25,000 being saved. I will stress one thing. This commitment is not about me. Instead, it's about the stories, the legacies that were left behind by our brothers. I'm only the vessel carrying them to the top. Until they all reach the top, and as many of the, and still counting, as I can get to reach the top. I will climb until I physically can't anymore. Today's climb is another step closer towards the 200 coming up in New York City. Taking another brother right now, Lieutenant Charles Margiotta, to the top. I'm gonna finish this climb and I'll be off for 2 days to rest a little bit, because as I said before, this is the 5th climb of this tour. There's 96 hours. I'm just coming off this morning. So we're on the heel of the 6th and then 7th vertical. 75 floors in, and 20 minutes on the timer. For a brother who was a husband and a father, a son, we will never forget. Instead, we will always remember his career, his 20 years given to the citizens of New York. It was said that he worked for General Motors before getting on with the FDNY. Once he got on with the FDNY, he put in 15 years in Harlem at Tower Ladder 40 before moving to Staten Island. For the rest of his career, he worked Tower Ladder 85, housed there with Engine 165, Staten Island's White Lightning, and he was going to be permanently assigned to Tower Ladder 83 there in Staten Island. We will never forget the heroism and bravery shown so that others could live. Taking another brother to reach that top with Lieutenant Charles Margiotta. It's his turn. Almost to that 8th milestone of the 200th brother and the initial 343 commitment carried to the top. Not stopping until we reach it. Our brother deserves honor and respect for 20 years career in the FDNY, for his service to the citizens of New York, for his being a husband and a father to his wife Norma, daughter Norma Jean, and son Charles Vito II. For this, we carry him vertical to that 110th floor. So, basically, just climbing, as I told you before. So now, we're at a little bit before the last of the verticals. Coming up on the last vertical very soon. For our brother to reach that top, we climb. To finish our footsteps, we climb. To never forget, to always remember, we climb. And also, this is a permanent electronic record of his legacy, as I can remember it. We will never forget. Our brother was a Hollywood stuntman, a member of the Screen Actors Guild, as I said before. He was said to have had about a dozen films he'd been involved in. Two of the most notable were Hannibal and Frequency. And if anybody's seen Frequency, it's actually a movie of sci-fi kind of movie involving a firefighter. So that's pretty cool. This is to finish his footsteps on the 5th climb, and it's starting to get rough. I'm almost there though. I will not quit until we reach the top, but the legs are burning. Condensation is really rocking right now. So before I continue, welcome on Sunday morning from Sunland Park, New Mexico. For those just joining, this is the 343 commitment in Still County. Finish of the 110 floors for Lieutenant Charles Margiotta, and for his work on Battalion 22 and White Lightning, Tower Ladder 85, Engine 165. Both were in Staten Island. Taking them up to finish the footsteps. All right, so a little bit to report. We're at the 101st floor. So a little bit of some stairs while we're at it.